stories glow. Palm lantern ignite, where the tales will flow. Whispers of the night, under moonlit skies. Every word so bright, in your mind it lies. Palm lantern light guides you through the night. Every tale in sight makes your heart ignite.
Lucille was a very beautiful woman from Debut in Ivory Coast. Life had not been easy growing up, as her parents were low-income earners. She was the first child in a family of 10, including her father and mother. Lucille was highly skilled at braiding hair, and was known all over her city for her braiding prowess. She used the proceeds from her braiding to support herself through university. She attended the National Higher School of Statistics and Economics in Abidjan. Her plan was to open the largest salon and spa in the country, and eventually expand to other African countries. She saved money gradually, while earning an MBA degree, while conducting her research and writing her business proposal. She received a message from a Frenchman on her social media page. The social media platform Friends page was becoming increasingly popular. Normally, Lucille never paid attention to direct messages on Friends page. However, one Saturday evening, while relaxing at home, she decided to respond to Louis, the Frenchman who had been bombarding her with messages. That was the beginning of her friendship with Louis. They chatted about everything, and after several months of messaging, they graduated to video calls. Lucille learned that Louis was a successful businessman in France, the heir to a major beauty brand in Paris. Lucille couldn't believe her ears. If not for the video calls, she would have thought it was a scam. She was thrilled, feeling it was fate that had brought Louis her way. She knew she could learn a lot from him. Louis promised to make her the head of their Black woman hair products division. Lucille was elated and saw this as an opportunity to save money and start her own company. She also viewed it as a way to lift her family out of poverty. Louis professed his love for her. After a year, Louis proposed to Lucille over the phone, and she said yes. She became the envy of her friends. Louis traveled to Ivory Coast with some of his friends from Paris, and they had a grand and colorful wedding ceremony in Debut. After the wedding, Louis returned to Paris and began processing Lucille's documents to join him there. Lucille arrived in Paris to start a new chapter of her life. The city was everything she had imagined: elegant, bustling, and filled with opportunities. Louis had already arranged for a luxurious apartment in a central neighborhood, and he made sure she had everything she needed to settle in. 2 months after she arrived in Paris, Lucille began to notice a shift in Louis's behavior. He became withdrawn. He seized her passport and travel documents. One evening, he led Lucille into an underground room in his house, where his dog Pato lived. Louis enjoyed watching bestial porn. He trained his dog for this purpose. Behind the facade of a professional man, Louis was a disturbed and abusive man. He abused women and his dogs. He swept past charges under the carpet because of his high connections. He locked Lucille up with Pato and fed them daily. He had cameras connected in the dog room, where he watched Pato descend on Lucille. Every morning and evening, Pato descended on Lucille. Following Louis' command, Louis would order her through the mic to go clean up and get ready for the next day. Lucille cried and begged Louis to let her go. She promised to keep his secret. Louis screamed at her. He told her that he did not spend all that money on their wedding ceremony for her not to be useful. Every night, Lucille prayed to God to please rescue her from the claws of Louis. She promised to serve him all the days of her life if he set her free. After 6 months of staying with Pato in the underground room, one day Louis forgot to lock the room and went to the office. A voice spoke to Lucille to check the door. She did and was surprised to find the door opened. She was about to run when Pato started barking. She quickly set his food on his bowl to distract him. It worked. She snuck out of the house through the windows. She ran as fast as her legs could carry her. After running as far as she could from Louis' house, shivering and lost, she spotted a police station. She summoned courage and stepped inside and spoke in French.
S'il vous plaît.
The officers listened as she poured out her story. Their faces softened with pity. They gave her temporary shelter and contacted immigration services. When they asked if she wanted to fight for her stay in France, she shook her head. No, Paris was not good to me. I want to go home. I want to start all over again. Lucille returned to Ivory Coast with nothing but her desire to succeed. She went through several therapy sessions. Her parents nurtured her back to health. As months went by, she relocated to Abidjan. Lucille grew more determined to make her own path. She revisited her business plan for the salon and spa, now more determined than ever to build something of her own. She networked with other entrepreneurs and attended beauty trade shows. With just a few savings and a borrowed space in a market stall, she started Lucille's Beauty Haven, offering hair treatments, facials, and massages. Word spread quickly about her magic touch, and soon, women from all over Abidjan came to experience her services. She introduced luxury treatments using local ingredients: baobab oil for hydration, cocoa butter for radiance, and hibiscus for anti-aging. Her signature glow treatments became a sensation. Demand for her products grew, and Beauty Haven expanded. She moved into a bigger space, then opened a second location, then a third. Within 5 years, Lucille's Beauty Haven had become a household name in Ivory Coast. But she wasn't done yet. She traveled across Africa, learning about different beauty rituals. In Senegal, she discovered the art of traditional hair steaming. In Ghana, she studied Exi butter refinement. In Nigeria, she collaborated with dermatologists to create skincare solutions for melanin-rich skin. She launched her own line of beauty products, Beauty Haven Organics, made with African ingredients. Demand for her products spread beyond Ivory Coast. Lucille expanded to Dakar, Accra, and Lagos. She trained young women, offering scholarships and apprenticeships. Every African woman should feel beautiful in her own skin, she said, and every young girl should know she can build something of her own. By the time she celebrated the 10th anniversary of Lucille's Beauty Haven, she had salons and spas in over 10 African countries. Her name had become synonymous with African luxury beauty. She opened a foundation for young women, empowering them and teaching them about the dangers of blind trust. Vet the foreigners who promise you dreams outside the country, she warned. Not all of them mean well. Never leave your country for the promise of a job abroad that you haven't investigated. If they take your passport, run. Some women never made it out alive. I am thankful to God for His mercies upon my life. Her story spread like wildfire. Lucille lost a part of herself in Paris, but in Ivory Coast, she found restoration.
Underneath the stars, worlds begin to